Well, it's the next day. Laid out the pistons, sprayed the motor with a little bit of brake clean. I just got lazy. It was a long day yesterday, but pistons are laid out. Box of the new mini rings are here. We'll try a piston ring install on these. Unfortunately, I have a set of ring spreaders. These are too big for these tiny little baby pistons. So hopefully I can get this done without breaking any. I opened up the package. It does come with a single oil ring, not a three-piece, which I was really kind of hoping for because that one's really a pain to get on. So I know I snapped a couple of them coming off. I also wasn't overly cautious. I'm hoping new rings are going to be a lot less brittle and I don't run into any issues, or you can watch me get really frustrated. Another quick thing to check actually, now that I have all of this here and the cylinders are rehoned, I'm going to drop this in just to verify some ring fitment. It's not going to be perfect by any means, but got a nice fingernail gap there, just shy. That should be okay. So as long as they fit into the bores, you know, you should go through and align all of these with each cylinder. Maybe I will do that just to verify. Make sure that we actually do have a gap. I could grab a feeler gauge set and mic this out or measure that out, but I can tell you right now that gap is okay. I've done enough motors where I got a good idea on that one. Obviously it's going to change a little bit depending on your rings. So you should run each ring pack in each cylinder that it'll go in. So let's start on the end here. This will be cylinder 1. Just to verify the fitment there. And we'll start with the first piston then. So I know cylinder 1 fits in cylinder bore 1. Now, the nerve-wracking part. Like I said, I got a set of ring gappers, but this was too small to fit. Can't grab the big oil ring. This is the one I'm worried about. If I can get this on without breaking it, today will be a victory. Man, you want to talk about nerve-wracking. There's a lot of things I like about Honda designs. I know this is a much smaller motor, but holy cow, does this make me nervous. Ring kits are not cheap anymore. I almost wonder if I can throw in a set of snap ring pliers to try and help me here, because this is going to tear my hands up pretty good. Oh, well, that was horrifying, but she's in. First one's done. Now I gotta double check on these. I don't know what they got on here for markings. Typically you'll have a dot. I don't know if any of this is even going to show up in camera. I'm just looking for any sort of reference mark on here. Okay, I got these rings from 4into1, I think it's .com or something, or maybe I got it through their store on Amazon, whatever it may be. Just wanted to go on there and double check to verify. I was pretty confident that this one was the top ring. I just wanted to make sure, since there are no markings on the actual piston rings themselves. It looks like they are non-directional, but the order is going to matter. There's no like chamfered cut or anything on here that I can see visually. But if you notice on this piston ring, hopefully this shows up in the light, the outside of this is silver plated or silver, whereas this one's black. Hopefully you guys can see that on the outers. This goes in hole 2, the second ring. This is your top compression ring. So now we get to wrestle this one on here. I do have a pretty high crown, so normally on like Fords and stuff, I'll kind of slip them in like this and walk it around. I can't twist the ring that far on this. So we will do this way and mangle up my fingernails and fingers. Did not want that to fall into that ring land like so. It's okay. I'll try and go baby steps here. Give it a little spin here. Alright, second one's in. So far, so good. On to the last one. Like I said, normally you'll have a dot, which will tell you the dots typically go up. Like I said, this one does not have it. I know I'm repeating myself, but just to clarify, in case anybody was wondering or orders a kit through them, they do not have a dot. Cylinder 1 is loaded. We'll go over the ring orientation later when I actually put this back in the motor. So if we're starting at 1, the next set will be 2. We'll just go in order for ease of size and fitment. Again, especially with the quality of parts these days, I would always try and at least verify that these are going to fit in. I'm not too concerned on the oil ring. But drop these in, use your piston to square it up in the bore. If you want to get real particular, slide it all the way down at various points, take a quick measurement on the ring gap. This one looks good. I know you guys can't see it, but take my word for it. Also good. And I'm not going to do that with the oil ring because just for giggles. That's fine. So I'm going to time-lapse the rest of this while I go through them, and hopefully it kind of shows up on camera. And we'll be back when I put the pistons back into the motor. Success. Now, in terms of orientation, you know, you're supposed to offset these gaps, so you do not want to build the motor and slide the cylinder on with them all like this. Ideally, you're going to want them rotated. I try and keep them away from the wrist pinholes. I don't think it's really that big of a deal, and I'm fairly certain that when you're running a motor, this is actually going to rotate freely in the bore anyway. It should, at least. So if you got any rings that are hung up, make sure they're spinning smooth on all of these, because if it's tight anywhere, that's going to cause problems. But you want to stagger your gaps. On two-stroke stuff and porting, I was always more cautious on setting these up because a lot of those have a center pin that holds a ring in one place. These do not, so these should, I think, have a little bit of room to walk around in there once it actually gets fired up. Granted, it's going to be held pretty tight under compression, but I don't think they stay exactly where they are. I've never put a motor together, run it, and then taken it apart right away just to verify where the ring placement was. Would be a cool experiment to see, but there we have it. Honda CB350F is done on the pistons. Next it'll be going on the motor. I still got a good amount of cleaning up to do on that. Still got to wipe down and prep the gasket area. It will be getting a full oil change, so whatever brake clean I spray in there shouldn't really make too much of a difference. But thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Shoot me a comment below if there's any other detail stuff you're looking to see on this build. Like I said, I'm not an expert by any means, but I know enough to get myself in trouble and figure it out as we go. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.